When Durant and I found out we was having our first son, we was very excited, and I decided to name him after my brother, Gerard. Roger was a child that didn't ask for much, and I do remember one day when he turned about 2 years old, he wasn't talking much, and my grandmother was leaving, and we was at my mom's house, and she had kissed him bye and told him bye, and that's when he said bye. And I was so happy because I thought something was wrong that my baby wasn't talking.
Growing up with Roger was really interesting, to say the least. Roger was very quiet, he stayed to himself, but for a lot of people who didn't really know him, Gerard was funny, like extremely funny. Like to the point where his jokes were so stupid that you didn't have a choice but to laugh. When we were kids, I always felt like his protector. In school, he depended on me to do everything. I honestly almost felt like I was his mama. He was always, Keisha, can you help me with it? Like, I did everything for him, like any big sister would do for any sibling that they have. We had our times where we would get mad at each other, but it never was for long, especially with the type of attitude that he had and the humor that he had. It was always gonna be made into a joke later on, which I'm thankful for, that we never had a big falling out, or we were never mad at each other for long. Like, everything was always really easy to get over with him because he was gonna make you laugh about it. Everybody who knew Gerard knew that he was a funny person. He may wanted to act like he was the boss, but I was really the boss. I remember when we were younger, we always at my grandfather's dirt yard, and he told us he'll give us 25 cents if we pick up from cans. So we all started running, picking up cans, and I think I picked up a can with bees in it, and the bees started swarming everywhere, stung everybody. When we were starting high school, Gerard, of course, he was going to the 9th grade. I was already in the 11th grade. And at this point, Gerard was like, yo, Keisha, what do I wear for school tomorrow? You know, everybody want to be fresh for the first day. I was like, nah, man, you don't want to kill it on the first day because you know everybody gonna be fresh. I was like, you wear something real cool, just something simple. So when everybody run up out their clothes, then you pull out all your tight stuff. So on the first day of school, we get to school, we meet everybody up on the brook. I introduced Gerard to everybody. I was like, be cool, I'm gonna make sure everybody know you. And everything gonna be straight.
When me and Roger was little, this was like a long time ago, throwback of course. So we go to Galveston with my Uncle Durant, which is his father, and we on the jet ski. So he decides that he wants to go all the way in the middle of the water, and it cuts off, and then we come back on. And we got stuck in the middle of the water. And he tried to act like he wasn't scared, but yeah, we got a little scared because couldn't nobody see us.
I met Roger on Way Street. We were in like the 5th and 6th grade, or a little bit time before then. It was a while ago. We pretty much grew up together. I wasn't able to go down the street because my parents were so strict. But as I was riding my little big wheel car in the driveway, I would see him walking his dog or see him trying to drive his parents' car or whatever the case was. But I always saw him as so handsome. He was always so cute, and back then he was a little chubby, and I just always wanted to rub on his stomach.
Growing up, Roger was he had like a very calm spirit. He was always smiling, he was always joking. He was so laid back, and he always had like a good vibe around. Like being around him, it always had a good vibe. Always felt comfortable and felt like he just had like a pure spirit.
I remember one time, this back when Keisha had got married to Akbak. If everybody don't know who Akbak is, you know, just put the camera on Keisha and you'll understand why, you know, the Arab family. Shout out to my people. Shout out to Killer Cam, AKA Akbak, AKA Killer Hussein. You feel me? So Keisha wanted us to be in her and Akbak wedding. And, you know, we took the opportunity, you know, we was inspiring rappers at the time. You know, it's gonna be a lot of pictures and everything, so we'll do that. On top of that, we look good in suits, so the whole wedding, it ain't about no wedding, it's really us trying to be models. And the camera, we must have took about 100 different poses.
What I remember about Roger, where do I start? First and foremost, Roger was just awesome like that. Why? Because he was born in my birthday month, which is July. And I had the privilege of just experiencing a lot of his first. His first day, the first time that he walked, the first time that he talked, and he was just so cool about everything. He thought about it before he executed anything. Kind of why it took him almost 3 years before he started talking. But that's Roger.
Gerard and I became close in high school. I can remember he and his family moving off of Way, and I didn't see him for a couple of years. But although we went to separate high schools, my cousin was at Forest Brook with him. And I was just looking through her book and I saw a picture of him, and I immediately thought, oh my God, you have to give him my number so I can call him. And it was like, since then, it was like fate. We were close, we talked all the time. He made it very clear that he was not a phone person, so I had to do the initial calling until I guess he grew closer feelings for me and he started calling me just as much as I did him. And we were like inseparable ever since then. He was my best friend. He was my lover. We didn't start dating until college, but we were really close in high school. We were best friends.
I remember when we went to school together, we went to Olsen Elementary together, and we was walking home from school to my grandma Sally's house. And it's this fig tree that was at this lady house. And we used to go over there and jump her tree and start pulling off all her fig trees because it was like all her the little fruits on the fig tree because they were so good. And the lady was so mean. She hated for us to come and take her fruits off of her tree. So Gerard was, I was like, Roger, come on, man, we gotta go. She gonna catch us. And the lady was already peeping out her blinds, like. And I was like, yo, we gotta go. She gonna get mad. So Roger was like, man, forget that. I'm about to go get some. He ran over there and jumped in that lady tree. That lady came out there, hey, get out of my tree. He was like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, you know, that was my ride or die. We used to do everything together. Play basketball, football, play video games. We even used to work together. We had a job at IQ Products. I'll never forget that. I remember all them little Mexicans used to just come up to us and just be talking all type of Spanish to us. And I'll look at him, he'll look at me and be like, I don't know. I'm talking about, it's just good memories about everything. We was at that job and we both got hired at the same time. We was working for probably about 2 months and we both got a rash at the same time. And we both ended up quitting at the same time. So, I mean, that let you know, I mean, whatever he was down for, I was down for. It was the same way with him.
His mother gave him his nickname as Roddy, and I added Roo. Roddy Roo was his nickname, and he was known all over the country as that name. And he was a perfect, sweet human being. From a newborn to when the angels came through and carried him away.
And it was a guy in a light company truck, and he looked over. And I just so happened to glance over and looked, and Roger had stuck his head out towards the dash, and he say, what you laughing at? I said, who? He said, you. I said, oh, nothing. And then he looked again to my left and he said, excuse my words, but this is my son speaking. What that nigga looking at? I said, why would you say something like that? He said, I know he ain't looking over here. I said, no, he's not looking at you. He looking at me. All right, I done told you, I ain't looking for no daddy. I said, you might not be looking for no daddy, but I'm looking for a friend.
We ain't never had a conversation about the outcome of what we knowing that'll happen when we riding on a motorcycle and we going that fast. I mean, it was just crazy to me, and I never did think about it, or it never dawned on me, like, man, why we having a conversation about, you know, like, the consequences of what would have happened if, I mean, which we already knew the consequences, but, I mean, it just felt strange to me after everything happened, and I never told nobody the story but Keisha. And, I mean, I think Joe was in the garage when we was talking about it, but, I mean, other than that, ain't nobody else know.
Man, me and my boy had this little phase we was going through for like 4 months. I always used to do every night, whatever we did, go play basketball, come home, take a shower, spend about 2 hours outside. But you can't finish out the day without that Oreo shake and them hot popcorn. We're gonna go upstairs, sit up there, about another hour or two, and next thing you know, one of us sleep on the couch.
Oh my God, when I found out I was pregnant, it was the summer of 2013. It was the end of May, beginning of June. It was early in the morning. I just wasn't feeling well. So I just went to Walgreens, took a pregnancy test, and I immediately found out I was pregnant, and I boiled crying. So I called Roger, and I was like, are you up? And he was like, no. And I said, well, I'm pregnant. And he was like, huh? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. And so I guess he had to let it marinate. I don't know what it was. He was really, really nonchalant about it. But the good thing is he did call me back and he told me how excited that he was. He was way more excited than I was, because I was just trying to establish my career and I was completely afraid and taking care of this whole new life. But he just was like really excited. He was ready for it.
When I found out Roger was expecting a child, I was like, by time. Everybody didn't beat him. I even beat him. I've been waiting on this forever. Him and Mika to have a baby. I was like, dang, y'all ain't gonna ever have no baby? But it was good that Mika was able to finish school. Like, it was perfect timing, like perfect timing. And I'm happy that he was able to bring such a beautiful baby in the world. That was a blessing. But it took him a while. Everybody was getting pregnant and having babies on them, but he eventually has a baby.
When I first found out Gerard was having a kid, I was so excited. Like, I was so hyped about it because I was glad that it wasn't me, because we both said that either he was gonna have a baby first or me. And he said, nah, Tina, I think you gonna have a baby first. I said, how you gonna tell me I look like I'm gonna have a baby first?
I mean, when I found out he was gonna be a father, I got excited. I mean, I called his phone. I asked him, I was like, how does it feel to be a father? And he laughed and we just started joking. And
Roger as a father was amazing to see. We had our baby premature. RJ was born at 7 months. He spent 2 months in the hospital. And when we brought him home, Roger was amazing. With the exception of the fact he did not want anybody to spoil the baby. He didn't want anybody to touch him, kiss him, but it was okay for him to do that. I can remember one crazy story when I was at work and Roger had the baby at Keisha's house, which is his sister. He had the baby at Keisha's house and Keisha was inside with the baby and RJ was just crying, acting crazy. In comes Roger just talking, and RJ just completely stops crying and starts looking around for his dad, because Gerard had him so spoiled. Even though no one else can spoil him, he had his baby spoiled. I never really had to deal with him a whole lot, because when we were at home, he was sitting on Roger. It was like it was his baby, and I was just the one who held the baby in my stomach.
My baby boy, he was more than just my nephew. He was my godson. And A lot of favorite memories with him. The last being the best. I helped him and Mika furnished their first place together, so that was something that I will never forget. The smile on his face, him just being so happy and me being able to share that with him. That was my baby. He was with me everywhere I went when his mama was sick, and he was my son, the son that I never had, but the son that I will always remember. I love you, boy, and I miss you, and you gonna be my Roger Bunny forever. Remember your second mama, baby, because I will see you again soon. I love you.
And my granddaughter, Roddy Ruth's sister, called her Aunt Alice. And she told her that Roger had had a motorcycle accident and they was at the hospital with him. So naturally they always leave me behind, but she forgot, excuse me, it wasn't no babies there for me to have to stay and babysit with them. She and Tina and Kiki and Keosha, they jumped in the car and took off. And in a few minutes, they was right back up in the house because Keisha had called again. And she said, Mama, we come back to get you because Keisha said Roddy had a very bad accident. And it don't take me but a split second because, honey, I'm like Freddie, always ready. Continue. Okay, I was thankful when I got the news that I was expecting my first grandson.
Nope, that wasn't the first. That wasn't the first.
You ready? All right. See, you gon' man, fire her. Cleveland, you want a job? I got a position. You're a single parent. You too.
Roger was a giving person. Yeah. Yeah, one time I remember that's exactly what he did. Oh shit.
Get my goofiness, okay? This needs to be in there, okay?
They gonna put that in there.
Shut up, Keisha Banks. Make it stink out. Bees in it. And everybody got stung by the cans. I mean, by the bees.
Did you stop that?
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Right now.
What's going on? Everything is fine.
No, you got like,
Speaking to the mic.
Like a million. You got like I always feel like a million. Oh, you didn't give me no head signal. I'm sorry. Redo. I need a retake. Let me know that means action.
Oh, Josh, I'm nervous. I don't like being in the green room by myself. Okay.
This is not the green.
Denise Rue.
And I remember one time Roddy Rue had just called me out the blue one day.
This is Gerard Marquise Banks Jr. He goes by the nickname of RJ. It stands for Roger Jr. He is 1 year old, and Roger's legacy lives on through him. Say hi. Say hello. Say hello, people. Say hello. RJ, say hello. Say hello. No, you don't want to say hello? You just gonna look?
This is what I'm talking about. That's what I want. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You steady going.
Okay.
It's only 4, bro.
Okay.
Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, we gonna do 5.
1, 2, 3, 5.
And then you stop at 3. I don't want to shake hands with you no more. Catch up against Gatorade. Catch up against Gatorade.
Come on, Kiosha dog. Okay, y'all already had the picture. Why would you want to take it on Shay's phone and not Josh?
This is her phone, girl.
Oh.
Yeah, just keep snapping.
Come on, Taylor, it's cold. Okay, wait a minute.
I'm recording, so
Well,
y'all
I
can.
need you to I need the picture to be taken. Do one more. It's cold. Hey y'all, it's your birthday, girl, and I'm in this thing.
Yeah, nigga, we doing the big for this video. I got 2 drinks in my hand. Nigga, Sky High Cam. We finna
Like on the Lil Wayne video, baby.
We finna get whacked, nigga. I'm finna get whacked.
You want your cup?
Man, hold the fuck on.
I hold that down. I'm the cup holder. You feel me?
Y'all come back after the New Year over and see how I be. I'm gonna be out of there.
Wow, he made 21 months.
Strackers over here on this side, y'all.
I'm not a sucker for Merry Christmas. Money maker, paper chase.
Hey, Kiki.
That's my email.
What year we in? Alright, thank you. That's all we want to know, baby.
Hey, roll no. I know them. Shut up. I know them.
What is it?
We in 2009.
Look at yourself, Stracker.
I know it. She went down, baby. So we going to one drink to get out of 10. We going to 10. But what we do the math. We need 10.
Let me zoom, hold up. Let me zoom in on them lips. Oh, y'all look at them lips. Oh.
How you doing?
We got the nigga Dre in the corner right here, standing behind Maya Stracking there.
I didn't know. Look at Maya. The phone. She not in there.
Who you looking for?
One, two, three, release. Bye, Roger.